we just finished the 10th and the 11th verse. It is from the 11th verse that the teaching of the Gita starts. So the first verse is, the 11th verse, Ashocyanan vashochastvam pragyavadanscha bhashase gatasuna gatasunscha nanu shochanti panditaha. Lord Krishna says, Arjun, you grieve over those who should not be grieved, who should not be grieved for, and yet speak like the learned. Wise men do not sorrow over the dead or the living. The 12th verse, why don't they grieve, O Lord? In fact, there was never a time when I or you or these kings were non-existents. There was never a time when I or you or these kings were non-existent. Nor is it that hereafter we shall cease to be. Meaning that even thereafter we shall continue to exist. Therefore, the wise don't grieve. Na tve vaham jatunasam na tvam neme janadhipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. How should I know this fact? The 13th verse, the Lord says, just as boyhood, childhood, youth and old age are attributed to the soul through this body, even so it attains another body. So the wise do not get deluded about this. The 14th verse, it is right that the body passes through boyhood, youth and old age. But what to do when we face favorable and unfavorable circumstances such as pleasure and pain? So in the 14th verse, the Lord says, O son of Kunti, the contacts between the senses and their objects, which give rise to pleasure and pain, by creating favorable and unfavorable circumstances, are all transitory and fleeting. The contacts between the senses and their objects. So, sound with ear, touch with skin, taste with tongue, form with eyes, and smell with nose. These are the 5 senses and these 5 sense objects. So they give rise to pleasure and pain by creating favorable and unfavorable circumstances. But no matter whatever we are experiencing through our senses, the objects that we are experiencing, they are all transitory and fleeting. They are not permanent. Therefore, bear them patiently. What does the Lord say? Therefore, bear them patiently. Remain equanimous in them. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama paino anitya tansitikshasva bharata. 15th verse. What will happen by bearing them patiently and remaining equanimous in them? The wise man, to whom pain and pleasure are alike, who is not tormented by these contacts of the sense objects and the senses, becomes eligible for immortality, that is, God realization. Till we are not equanimous, till we are not treating or understanding pleasure and pain to be the same sides, to be 2 different sides of the same coin, till we are not equanimous towards them, we are not eligible for immortality or God realization. The 15th verse, Yam hi na vyathayantete purusham purusharshabha samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. Now we come to the 16th verse. The first half of the 16th verse is very, very, very important. Swamiji always in his discourses has said the importance of this verse. That this half verse contains the essence of all the scriptures, you can say, of all the scriptures in relation to knowledge. What does it say? The unreal has no existence and the real never ceases to be. The real never ceases to be and the unreal has no existence. How does he become eligible for immortality? The seers of truth perceive the reality of both and become immortal. The seers of truth perceive the reality of both. That means perceive the reality of the real, which is always existing, which never ceases to be, and the unreal, which has no existence at all. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayorapi drishtontas tvanayostattvadarshibhi. What is that real or imperishable which never ceases to be, O Lord? In the 17th verse, know that to be imperishable, by which all this world is pervaded. None can bring about the destruction of this indestructible substance. What is imperishable pervades the whole world, and no one can bring about the destruction of this indestructible substance. Avinashi tu tad viddhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinashamavyayasyasya na kashchit kartumarhati. What is unreal or perishable, O Lord? All these bodies pertaining to the imperishable, indefinable and eternal soul are spoken of as perishable. All these bodies which we see, which has taken birth, are perishable, are spoken of as perishable. Therefore, Arjun, do your duty by fighting. 18th verse, the Hindi one. Antavanta ime deha nityas yokta sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. In the battlefield, there are two activities, either killing others or be killed by others. Therefore, if the soul is considered the killer or the killed, then what? If you consider the soul to be either the killer or the killed, then both of them are ignorant. One who knows the soul to be capable of killing and the other who takes it as killed, both are ignorant, because the soul neither kills nor is killed. The soul neither kills nor is killed. Ya enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hantina hanyate. Why is the soul not killed, O Lord? The soul is neither born nor killed. It is unborn. It is eternal. it is everlasting, and it is primeval. It is not killed when the body is slain. The soul is not killed when the body is slain. Why? Because the soul is never born. It is unborn. It is eternal. It is everlasting. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The soul is unborn. The soul is never born. The soul goes from one body to the another body. The body is changing. The body has been created in the womb of the mother. We understand our birth to be the date the body comes out of the womb. But that is not the birth, that is just the coming out. There is no birth date of any being, of any soul, because the soul is unborn. We do not know the date in which the soul enters the womb of the mother. And even if we know that date of it entering the womb cannot be termed as its birth. God is unborn. We are a part of God. We are a particle of God. So we don't have a birth also. In the Mahabharata it is said that one who thinks that he is going to die, he is ignorant. His intellect is gross. It says he has an animal-like intellect. He doesn't use his discriminatory powers. So we are unborn. We never die. We are eternal. We are everlasting. The body may be slain, but the soul is not. Our true form, we are the soul in the body. Here also I would like to clarify. The body is slain. Which body? The body which has been created in the womb of the mother by the sperm and the egg of her parents. That body which has been created will be slain. The body of the soul which has entered the womb of the mother, that body cannot be slain. We must be very clear in our understanding. One is the physical body that we see, and one is the non-physical body of the soul that we cannot see. We just read in the previous verse that the soul pervades everybody. So what pervades everybody is the body which cannot be seen. Like you take the element air, space, ether. It's all pervasive, but it can't be seen. So the only point I'm saying this, the point I want to highlight here is we must distinguish right at the beginning that there is a body which has been created in the womb of the mother, and a soul body, an eternal body, a divine body, which has entered the womb of the mother, which we are calling the soul. So the soul is not a non-body. The soul is not a no-body. It is not the physical body that we see, but it is a body. This brings us to the end of the 20th verse. Narayan, 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 Narayan.